Good afternoon, everyone from YouTube and the whole entire globe. This is Sean Sosi coming to you guys live for a very special blog event. As normally I would do the short story reading randomizer, but right now I want to tackle on the boys. Considering that I just finished the series finale, I enjoyed it, but I have some nitpicks. I have a lot of nitpicks. So before we get into it, major spoiler warning ahead. Do not continue this video if you have not watched it. I'll give you a sec. Okay, we are going to go into it. Those who are here, you guys have already been warned. So I felt like we needed more Gen V, should I say? Because if you guys watch Gen V, which is the spinoff to The Boys, there was a lot of build up, and they were supposed to actually be more into the story. It seems, considering they had two full seasons freshed out, I felt like it was very short lived. I They didn't show up until I believe the episode 7. And I'm like, let's go. It's about time. Why didn't these guys come sooner? I was just like, this should have been like freshed out more, and it's going to be a basically freshed out more hashtag because it's there's a lot of stuff they could have done. Could have done one more season, which another thing that's going to be ongoing. One more season, could have actually fresh out everything. That or two more episodes give us a total of 10 episodes instead of the regular eight. This 8 episode um like method is not working for some of these shows because some of these shows are good with 8 episodes, but some of these shows like this, for example, it's really like hindrance. It's like you guys could have done more with this if you just had more than these 8 episodes. Like I don't know what is with this 8 episode formula. It's probably because of the 8 hour must be 8 hours to actually get a whole freaking full time, you know, and everything. It's like it's mumbo jumbo. Just give us more episodes or give us an extra season. I was devastated about Frenchie's death. Like I knew it was happening. Like I knew it was happening either him or Kaneko because I saw something with Kaneko and him together in a sad moment, like a image, and I immediately scrolled back. And I was really devastated. I was crying over episode 7 just because my boy, who is my favorite character personally, of all the characters, I love every character, but Frenchie was just like up there, and him and Nico was just like the perfect couple. I mean, sure they have their flaws and stuff, just same as Huey and Annie. I love them, and seeing that really triggered me so sadly, and I was really, really not, you know, happy. And we want to kill Homelander after that. Don't even get me started with Taylor or Billy because I knew it was coming with Taylor and eventually Billy, especially when Huey and Billy had to fight against each other at the end. I was like, Huey's gonna win this fight. I mean, there's no way they're gonna end the show where it's just man side. Like, it's no way. There can't be a sad ending. I mean, it could be a little bit of a bittersweet ending, and I liked how it go, but it was so sad to see that. I was crying. I was crying even Taylor passed away, even though I know he was getting old. It was pretty much just, you know, it was also pretty sad to even though the ending was bittersweet, as I said. Um, Curly used more epilogue. Like I know we get what happens after Homelander, they kill Homelander, but they should have gotten more epilogue. But I felt like a lot of some of the plot points was not resolved, and the ending was a little bit rushed. And the characters could have been a little more out, see what's going on with some of these characters. Um, A Train's death was very sad, especially at this first episode of the season. I was like, no, not A Train, but I was more devastated with Frenchie. But A Train has really come about because from the get go, he's the one who killed Huey's girlfriend from the very beginning, and now he's come to redeem himself. And then, wow, season 5, he gets killed off. Homer gets finally defeated as a phony, whiny bitch boy. Excuse my language, but this is kind of like this is the show. The show is basically very, raunchy and very outspoken about things. So it's one of those things that you don't want to watch your kids. Same thing with Invincible. Like I like these two because they are out, you know, not for kiddos, they are for adults, and they're raunchy, but they're very fun, very enjoyable. Um, but yeah, could have used more minor characters to shine, especially Gen V, as I mentioned, because Gen V was set up to be like, oh, here's a bridge to all the boys stuff that's going on. Well, these kids or these college students are going for their own traumatic. We always get a little bit of these characters, and it's unfortunate we didn't get more of them, like Marie and I forgot Marie's love interest, but even Emma was just like short lived. Like we didn't see much of them. I wanted to see more. I'm hoping Gen V has one more season of how they approach Canada and how the transition to actually, you know, being at the new era, and a little bit of season three, season five's background, like what was happening behind the scenes. I'm hoping that's what it is. I just feel like they were shoehorned in there, and I feel like it wasn't deserved. It wasn't deserved as I thought it was going to be. I thought they were going to come in like episode 2 or 3 to just be like, okay, here's Gen V and the boys. They are all working together to stop a common threat and a common enemy. But no, turned out they didn't want to be. Well, they wanted to be involved, but Anna was like, "No, I don't want you guys to involve." In episode 7, and then didn't see them until they got refugees, and be like, "Here, we need these refugees to be dropped." I'm like, that we didn't even see the powers. We didn't see them actually get into action. I was so pissed. I was like, wait, what? One more season worth of actually freshes out these characters, fresh out the story bits. You guys were just like, oh, we just get 5 seasons, and that I said, no, this gets 6 seasons. So that way everyone's like build up and redemption arcs and all the other stuff that you guys want to talk about could have actually been more fleshed out and explained, or give us 2 more episodes instead of this stupid 8 episode method. Like, give us 10 episodes at least, or maybe 11. Not 9, because I don't think nine's going to help, but at least 2 more. At least, because that way we fresh out all the characters. I get it, you want to do the, well, it's always been 8 episodes, but it's like the 8 episodes method does not work. Hollywood, if you listening to this as me, as my own entrepreneur and amateur author, this doesn't work. This never works. I've even seen videos of people's opinion about this, and I absolutely agree with them. This does not help anyone for these books. I mean, not these books, sorry. These stories on media to actually be the 8 episode formula. Some of them actually work. Like I would say, Wonder Man is a good example. That works as an 8 episodes. But there's certain ones that could have been like, okay, you could have actually expanded more on this and this plot point and this character. But some like this, as well as don't get me started with Stranger Things and Game of Thrones, is just when your audience is going to love it if the finale is good. But there's certain people like me, I have my own thoughts and opinions on these, that the finale sucks. This is not that bad compared, and I'm going to get to that point. This is not as bad as Game of Thrones and Stranger Things, but this could have been better. I could have actually wanted an extra 2 episodes just to fresh out everything and just to readjust some stuff, like readjust some plot points, readjust some stuff that could have been a little bit better and executed, instead of just, oh well, this is like, this is time frame. I know it's every episode is like an hour and 7 minutes. You guys could have actually extended some of those episodes to, like, I don't know, episode at 15 minutes, episode 25. I don't know, because this is the big event of the century. Stranger Things did it. They actually went all the way from season 4, and that could have been 2 seasons right there. And season 5, or yeah, the last season was just washed out. They could have actually extended it to be, oh well, here's a brand new actual true ending, because everything was all in someone else's mind that this was happened, but it's not, which everyone including me thought, but that didn't happen. So I kind of don't want to have that kind of path going on with the boys. I feel like it was good ending, but the how to get there could have been executed a lot better. Again, better than Stranger Things and Game of Thrones. I mean, Game of Thrones was good like the first half of the final ending, but the second half was just trash. That could have been executed a lot better. We're not gonna get into that again, but still, I think Black Lunar and or Queen Mabel could have actually helped the boys in the end. I know we didn't see much of Queen Mabel since I think season 3. I don't remember. It's been a long time since we last see her, but it would have been nice to actually see that she's like, I am going to stop this. I am going to stop Homelander. And Black Lunar, it makes sense because he's getting, he's caught in the middle between Homelander and freaking Deep. He should be like, fuck it. I'm just gonna go to the boys and destroy not only Homelander but the freaking Deep. But he gets killed off by the Deep. I was pissed. I was like, no, it should have been he got out of there, and then he's like, I'm gonna go to the boys and actually finish this job. And actually, that would have been more executed well if him and like Ragnar and Annie was fighting off the Deep, and trying to stop him. And I mean, it was a little easier because they just had to push him in the water, and the sea creatures, considering they were pissed off with him and warned him not to come in the water, they would kill him. They ended up carrying him. Okay, they could have been a little more emphasis on some of this stuff. Like again, wash material does not work. It needs to be built up and well executed. I love that Kino's ending. Like out of all the endings next to Huey and Annie's, I like a lot. I didn't get much satisfaction with Mother's Milk or Ryan's ending because it was just like, oh, here they have to be remarried. Okay, I forgot that they were divorced. I guess they got remarried. Good, perfect. But I wanted more emphasis. I wanted to see more of the family. I wanted to see how his daughter is well equipped about everything, especially his wife, because we haven't seen them since season 4. This is the first time and the only time. Same thing. I like. There should have been more screen time with Ryan, more screen time with Zoe. Basically, the whole that generation, including Generation Gen Z V. I keep saying Gen V, because it's like we are built up for this as the main finale. Everyone's coming together to stop a common threat: Homelander and the Seven and Vault. What are we doing here? Why are we just like sugarcoating everything? I'm hoping that we get more spin-offs. Season 3 of Gen V will be a good start, or a prequel series to this whole franchise. I really am going to miss the boys after watching this. I come to realize that the girls of the boys... Wait, sorry. I'm drawing a blank. Oh, yeah, the girls of the boys, which is Annie and Kaneko, are the only ones of the group that actually have powers, except for Barry in season 4. I just realized that in episode 5. I don't know why it took me a while, because I'm like, oh, yeah, all the men don't have powers. Well, except for Barry, because, of course, he's got to have the powers, because he's the one who has to finish the job, and he did. I'm happy he did. I just felt like they could have been more executed in the overall office and the White House. It just looked like, okay, he got good. Homelander lost his powers, so now he's getting, leveled down and he's getting his ass beat. I wish there was more to that instead of just, oh, he was to finish the job after like 2 minutes after he got the powers. I was hoping to get a beat down. So, yeah. I'll be right there. Yeah. Okay. Oh, okay. Yeah. So I needed more backstories for each of these characters, especially the main cast. Apparently there is something going on at work. I just got into it by my super nice boss. But long story short, I'm going to go split one this real quick. Ryan and his generation sure have had more screen time. Love the chemistry between him and Zoe. Or I've actually had more emphasis on that. One Shot episode was probably my favorite episode of season 5 in general. Could have used more of it. Could have used extended it. Real good. Final fight could have been again expanded. Felt too short, but I like it. I like that we see how he's a whiny bitch. Biggest letdown was the Gen V screen time. I know I've been saying this over and over again in this whole thing. I think they should have been part of the plot since the very beginning of season 5. I know it would have been oversaturated with characters, but 2 more seasons, including this one, would have actually helped out fresh these characters, or at least 2 more episodes. It's just, yeah, you could have actually have either 2 more episodes or 2 more seasons. Hey, well, if you haven't finished boys, do not be here because I don't want to spoil anything. If you have, by all means, it's good to see you. Original rating was at 9, but I'm thinking I want to adjust that to either 8 or 8.5. I'm still iffy on this. It's not as bad as I said, Stranger Things or Game of Thrones season finales or series finales, should I say. Throughout the deep, could have been a better or redeemed character, I thought, but this him going out like a bitch boy, like Homelander was, it is what it is. I could have had more of it, more of aspect, but it is what it is. So again, going back to what happened to these characters, Soldier Boy, what happened to him? We know that he was in stasis after Homelander beat him, like knocked him out. I don't think he's dead because he's like he needed his father, even though he wanted to kill him right there. I felt like there was some loose ends with some of these characters, including Soldier Boy. The story feels relatable and its own right at home. I'm not gonna go into that, but we all know that a certain egotistic is thinks he's untouchable till he's not. That's basically Homelander and someone that I'm not going to go into. We could have used more of it if it was expanded into season 6. Season 5 could have been the build up. Season 6 is just like, all right, here we go. Here was the main showdown. Oh, it could have actually been extended to a movie. I mean, I would have mind that. I would have mind if it was just like, oh, here's 2 more episodes or one more extra episode. Then here's a whole entire movie for 2 or 3 hours. That could have been better. Piano Man could have been extended more than I thought it was going to be. I thought it was going to go the whole song, but I always stopped in like after a minute or two. And I'm like, well, that's short lived. Especially if everyone's endings were going on with the transition of the Piano Man. So sweet that Huey and Annie's baby was named by Robin, who is the same girlfriend that Huey had before he met Annie, before she got killed off by A-Train. So yeah, overall, I did like this season finale. I like the ending. It just could have been tweaked a little more. As a writer, I'm like thinking like, okay, I could have actually done that and done this a little bit differently. Could have actually fresh out these characters if I get in more 2 more chapters of the episodes just to fresh out everything. But overall, I did like it. I hope you guys enjoy this as much as I did. I'm sorry I kind of went on and on, but it's just I got a lot going on, and I figured I'd just talk about the boys before I forget because I wrote it all down. It is I thought these thoughts, and I was like, we gotta get this video up and running. So I hope you guys enjoy this, and I hope you have a wonderful Wednesday. Peace out, everyone, and I'll see you guys very soon. Streaming will be up later for Palmetto. See you then.